Sorry, this is a bit blurry. It's I'm trying to film through fly screen. There's the source of water, and Stumpy's come back out of the bush, and look at this. So the head propped up, looking over the log. He or she is sussing out the situation. And the beauty of it is he or she has cover and might look, really overgrown and unmanaged, like it might look like a mess, but that's a safe haven for the lizards. They can come out and sit there pretty much all day, every day, and have as much shade as they want. They can have as much sun as they want. But the beauty of it is they've got protection from the skies. No bird can just come down and grab them straight away. Even though these guys are big, it would have to be a big bird. These lizards are also known as snake killers or snake catchers. So they'll take on, red bellies or brown snakes and make a mess of them. They must have a really powerful bite. They're a big lizard. No. They're the biggest skink or biggest lizard in the skink family. I never met one or never knew about them until I met them here. And when I said I threw the snails to Stumpy or Stump, I only did that just thinking it might just help boost, his or her well-being. It looked like someone had actually chopped off the tail with a shovel or something like that. It did look really brutal and really. I just thought, I'd just give it a bit of, throw it a bit of natural food, and I'd grab the snails out of a neighbour's garden, and I'd triple check that she didn't use any snail baits or poisons or anything like that. And I only did it that one day just to give the lizard a bit of a boost for its immune system to try and, fight against disease or infection to heal that wound. And since then, Stump as like I can walk out there and be within 10 feet or so of Stumpy, but I don't push my luck, not push my luck, but it's their world. I don't want to interfere with it, and it'd be cruel. Like I could probably pat him or her, but that's only making myself feel good in a sense. You know what I mean? It's not the right thing to do by that animal. That's a wild animal, and they should fear us because we are predators, and they know it. That's easily picked by the way our eyes are mounted on our faces. Forward-facing eyes, predator. Side on, like eyes that are mounted on the side of the skull, prey. That's the way it is in the animal kingdom. So as soon as an animal sees a human, instantly they know we're a predator. As soon as an animal sees a tiger, they know it's a predator, or a dog, or a cat. Forward-facing eyes, predator. Side-mounted eyes, prey. But it's good for them to be it's good for them to fear us, and that's not to be mean or strike fear. I mean to cause stress in them. It's good for them to fear us, so they stay, safe out of harm's way. Because you might be kind, but doesn't mean your next door neighbour's going to be, kind to that animal. And by dropping their guard, if they trust you, then they're not watching their backs for other predators and stuff like that. So letting them fend for themselves is not the cruel thing, it's the best thing, because every single animal, every single native species is a master of survival. It's mastered the art of survival for tens of thousands of years or hundreds of thousands of years, if not millions. Like Australian flying foxes, part of our skies for over 46 million years. And people think they're, disease-ridden animals and stuff like that. Yet they love koalas, and without flying foxes there could be no koalas, because the flying foxes are the engineers of the Australian bushland. They pollinate. Oh, Stump's on the move. that might have happened 3 minutes ago. I've just been rambling on and gazing out the window. But yeah, see, even this process, and there's the water dish here, and Stump obviously wants a drink. And I only just put that out half an hour ago, 20 minutes ago. But it's hard, probably hard for you to see. I think I'm fully zoomed in, but yeah, I am. But I can see the eyeball there occasionally, and I can see him or her looking at me. The head's just turned to the right a bit, looking towards the dish again. But they've got to play that cautious game because it's, you know, it's in their best interest to live throughout that next day. You know. Same as birds, they've all got to, you know, the more we connect with them, in the sense of interacting with them physically, even if it's putting food out, straight away that's changing their, you know, their instincts, their behaviours, which isn't good. And yeah, it's easy to think we're helping them, but you know, in Australia, whitefellas have been here for 250 years. They've been here for tens of thousands, if not millions. So I dare say they've pretty much got it down pat. But if you want to help our wildlife, they desperately need their food sources as a backup to be grown in our local communities and your backyard and your front yard. By growing the right plants and the right natives, when there are natural disasters like fires and floods, it gives them a backup smorgasbord to be able to come into the suburbs, grab some seeds or grab some pollen, and then head back out bush, and once again become the generators and the, you know, the engineers and the builders of the regrowth of that bush that's been wiped out or damaged. If we try and do it, humans can't regenerate bushland like Mother Nature can. It's impossible, 100% impossible. And you could have 100,000 volunteers out there doing it 7 days a week, and you still wouldn't be able to achieve the workload that our wildlife can achieve. And they do it naturally. That's their life. They do it 20, you know, every day, every night. They're out there working. So yeah, building a safety, it's a safety net. If you have a safety net of their natural foods in your property and stuff like that, it gives them a respite, it gives them something to feast on, but you're not actually putting food out, and you're not interfering with their dietary, you know, requirements and, you know, all the good things that they need in their bodies to function like we do. But yeah, it also gives them, you know, the building blocks to rebuild. So, and plus you do that, and like I said, you know, like if you move into a house and put in the native plants and stuff like that, and you know, let the leaves fall on the ground, like fair enough if you want to have a nice looking garden and not, you know, be sort of frowned upon by the neighbours, and you know, that's fair enough, but do that with your front yard and let your backyard become a bit of a jungle, and your wildlife will love you for it. And year one might be a bit boring, and if you throw out birdseed, yeah, you're going to get a heap of birds, but you're only going to get a certain amount of species. And by having a large amount of species, like even if it's lorikeets or even if it's doves, or it doesn't matter what it is, by bringing in one species and having larger numbers than usual, you'll naturally be pushing out dozens of other species, because they're going to, you know, look elsewhere. You know, they're not going to all try and come and compete when there's big mobs and there's always conflict, regardless of what the species is. You know, there's always going to be conflict, and you know, having big numbers of one species when it's not natural is humans fucking up things. Whereas in nature, there has to be population explosions, which humans will say, you know, they're in plague proportions and stuff like that. But if they're a native animal in their own natural territory, in their own, you know, natural environment, then that's okay for them to have population explosions. They need it, because when they go into big blooms of, you know, millions of numbers or tens of thousands, or, you know, when they have those big growths, yeah, they might die off in a big way, you know, after, you know, 5 or 10 years or something like that. But that'll spur the growth of other species. It always something, it's always connected. There's no gaps in Mother Nature. There's no flaws. It's all perfect. It's just when we interfere and interact with it, we upset that balance, and we can't fix it. We never ever can fix it. We're not, you know, we're not Mother Nature, and Mother Nature's not a myth. It's just it's balance. It's harmony on this earth, and everything's connected. Like even that wattle tree there, a bit hard to see, but that'll be at certain points of the year that'll be absolutely teeming with black ants, and people go, "Oh, I've got black ants, I've got to poison them." But that wattle tree won't be there without those black ants, because those black ants help drive those seeds into the ground, and it's a part of the regeneration for the future. And, if there's snails and slugs on your veggies and stuff like that, or in your garden, good. Don't put out snail baits, because that's toxic. You're not only going to kill the snails and the slugs, you're going to kill little lizards, and those lizards are going to get eaten by birds, and it's secondary poisoning, and you're really going to, you're not going to see, you'll say, "Oh, I've been putting out snail baits for years and I've never seen